I raised another man's child for 4 years. Then I discovered the truth, and it shattered everything. We met in college, two people who just clicked. Our chemistry was instant, our connection real. We spent 2 amazing years together, dreaming about life, marriage, and kids. We weren't perfect, but we were solid. After graduation, we tied the knot in the fall, full of hope and plans for the future. We talked often about starting a family. We struggled for 3 years, doctors, ovulation tests, ups and downs. Then, finally, we got pregnant. When our daughter was born, it felt like everything we'd fought for had come true. She was beautiful. I was completely in love with both of them. I thought, this is it. This is my family. Life went on. My wife went back on birth control, but it caused problems, hormonal issues, mood swings, bad reactions. We talked like we always did, and I offered to take the lead. I decided to get a vasectomy. Simple, reversible, logical. That was 3 years ago. And ironically, without the fear of unexpected pregnancy, our sex life flourished. We were closer than ever, or at least I thought we were. Then 3 weeks ago, everything started to unravel. She was late, then she had sore breasts, morning sickness. The signs were all there. I was stunned, confused. Could vasectomies fail? I searched, hoping for a medical loophole. Yes, failure is possible, but it's rare. Still, I made the appointment. I got tested. 0 sperm. I was completely infertile. I said nothing to her. I just sat with it, numb. She got her positive test and begged me to get checked. I pretended I hadn't yet, said I was busy, but in truth, I already knew. And as I spiraled deeper, I did something I never thought I'd do. I took our daughter in for a DNA test. Waiting for those results was the longest stretch of silence in my life. And when they came back, I broke. Not only was I infertile, she wasn't my daughter. I couldn't breathe. I physically collapsed. My mind raced. How long had this been going on? How many lies had I swallowed without realizing? When my wife came home, I showed her my test results. I didn't accuse, I just waited. First, she denied. Then she cried, blamed the lab, blamed stress. Finally, she confessed to a one-time mistake, a fling, she claimed, a condom failure, a lapse in judgment, nothing more. I asked her again, then again, over and over. I told her clearly, if I find out later that you lied to me again, there's no coming back. She swore it was just once. I was crushed, but I wanted to believe. I wanted to find a path forward. So I asked her something I never imagined I'd say. I asked if she'd consider terminating the pregnancy. She cried all night. She begged me not to leave. And finally, through tears, she agreed. But I never told her about the DNA test. She had one chance to come clean. One. And she failed. I hired a lawyer. I live in an at-fault state, which gave me an advantage. My attorney was amazing. I showed her everything. Test results, documentation, and she laid it all out clearly. If my wife cooperated, I could terminate legal responsibility for the child I thought was mine. If not, we'd take it to court. Either way, I wouldn't be paying child support for someone else's child. But because of the holidays, we had to wait. Divorce papers wouldn't be ready until after Christmas. So I played the part, I smiled at family dinners, I decorated the tree, I kissed her goodnight, I didn't say a word. December 28, 10:45 a.m. I was ready. My sister helped me move most of my belongings. I had installed a nanny cam to record the interaction, just in case. Then the doorbell rang. She was served the papers. She texted immediately, panicked, confused, desperate for a conversation. Within an hour, she pulled into the driveway with the police. She told them she was scared, said I had guns. The officers searched. I calmly showed them my empty gun safe, explained everything. Then I gave her the truth. I showed her the paternity test. She sobbed, collapsed, still denied knowing who the father was. I asked her again, how many times did you cheat? This time, it wasn't once. It was twice. I reminded her, I gave you a chance. One more lie, and I was done. She tried to pivot, tried to ask, what do we tell our daughter? I told her, that's your mess, not mine anymore. Before she had even pulled into the driveway, I'd already sent emails to family and friends. I included both DNA tests, a timeline, my reasons. I didn't want any misunderstandings. The response was overwhelming. Support flooded in. People were shocked, angry. For me, her family was silent. Mine, fierce and loud. I felt vindicated. I felt heard. At the next legal meeting, everything was nearly final. We were just waiting on the home appraisal. A court-ordered DNA test once again confirmed I was not the biological father. The judge granted my motion to terminate parental rights and obligations. She didn't contest it. We filed under no fault to keep it simple. I would officially reclaim the house on February 15th. Divorce finalized by April 5th. She barely spoke during that meeting. She looked hollow, maybe medicated, maybe not. I honestly didn't care anymore. I walked out of that office feeling free. When I got back to work, my boss had left a bottle of champagne on my desk. A small gesture, but one that said, I see you. You made it through. I moved back into the house. She got her share and left. We now speak only through lawyers. I've blocked her friends, blocked her family. But there was one person I stayed in touch with, Sharon. The other betrayed spouse, her ex Stan, was the man my wife had cheated with. Sharon and I met for coffee a few times, talked about the wreckage, supported each other. She told her family everything, and Stan paid the price. He was fired from the family business, escorted out, laptop gone, company car gone, dignity gone. Karma in motion. A year later, Sharon invited me to a wedding. Stan would be there. It was meant to be platonic, a little poetic justice. But the energy shifted. We danced, we laughed, we drank. Stan glared at us the entire night. Later, in the hotel elevator, it was silent. Close, tense, we kissed, and that night we slept together. The next morning was quiet, not awkward, just full of questions, feelings, clarity. On the plane ride home, we agreed, no regrets, but we needed space to think. We'd meet again, have dinner, see what came next. Neither of us has dated since the divorces, and honestly, I don't know what this is yet. But for the first time in a long time, I feel free. I feel me. And I'm finally living a life built on truth.